Hello students, I hope you are doing well with the expert lecture series, watching them in details regularly. Let us continue with one more beautiful attempt in the expert lecture series 2021. This is English lecture number 11.1, and today we will be dealing with the appreciation of a poem. And this is a joint effort by Mr. Praveen Mure and Srimati Chaya Vevare from the BYK College of Commerce, Department of English. A very creative type of subject, a topic that is compulsory in your HSC board examination, and we'll have to deal with it in a different way. As we all know that creativity is intelligence having fun. So it never ends, it continues forever. And whenever you do something creative, you will certainly have fun. And this is nothing but your inherent intelligence. And it is well said by Albert Einstein here that creativity is intelligence having fun. We can also say that you can't see up, you can use up your creativity. Means creativity never comes to an end. The more you use, the more you have. So creativity should be frequently used so that it develops within you, and creativity is said to be a never ending process. We also know that thanking someone, having a gratitude for someone, feeling of gratitude for someone, it makes sense of your past, it brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. This was very well said. So in support to this particular appreciation of a poem, I think we need to focus on some very good quotes here. When we appreciate something, what we exactly do is we honor something, we honor a piece of art, we respect a piece of art, we admire, we have our own high opinion, our affection, our esteem, and in general we are highly obliged for someone who has written something very beautifully, and thanking someone for it is really required. So appreciation of a poem therefore leads us to understand what exactly we need to appreciate in the poem. So let us know the facts, very important things. A beautiful poem, a poem is always beautiful. Unless you find beauty in it, you will never find the beauty. You have to identify what is beautiful in the poem. So beauty in the lines are always appreciated. The selectivity of words, the phrases, and the innovation of beautiful phrases by the poet are also a part of appreciation. How the poet has wonderfully placed the words in the lines. So this is very, very important. So wonderful play with words is also appreciated. Then there are some elements, style, and we also call this as a jewels of the poem. The poem is very beautifully decorated with all these elements, and therefore we need to appreciate it. We cannot forget the feelings of the poet or the feelings of the characters within the poem. So these are also the part of appreciation. Moral value, experience of the poet has to be appreciated. Let me tell you, friends, that every poem don't have the same set of points to be appreciated. Now it is from the perspective of the student, it is from the perspective of the reader, it is from the perspective of the one who appreciates the poem, one who looks at the poem from a different angle, one who looks at the poem with all its elements all together and feels that what exactly needs to be appreciated. So points are never same for all the poems to be appreciated. Every poem has a different set of points that needs to be evaluated, to be justified, to be presented and designed by the reader. So never justify all poems with single set of points. So different set of points are required to appreciate every poem. Today's objectives are very clear. As we all know that we have to understand what is poetic appreciation, we have to understand the features of poetic appreciation, features. Then we have to learn some presentation techniques of poetic appreciation, presentation techniques. Then what is called as aesthetic sense that needs to be appreciated in order to learn to love and enjoy poetry. This aesthetic sense is very important. So what is aesthetic sense is it is an art or beauty that helps human nature to appreciate any piece of art. So that sense is very important, and we'll go through different meanings of appreciation now. What exactly appreciation means. Number one, now here the critical appreciation of poem aims to evaluate the work through a critical lens. No, we have a different lens. Every student will look at the poem from a different angle. So this lens is different. Everybody holds a different lens in order to elaborate some of its reasons that remarkably make it worth reading and worth understanding. How do you justify a poem from your own angle? This is important. So this is one meaning. And creativity is of course there, and your approach should be towards creativity. One more meaning we have. It is not a critical appreciation to simply state that you like something. No, rather you need to explain the structural, stylistic, thematic and other reasons that you find the work interesting, touching, fascinating and effective. So all these words will certainly help you to write a critical appreciation. So just understanding the meaning and writing something about the poem is not appreciation. You have to look at the poem from different angles. One more meaning we have. A critical appreciation of a poem is a matter of fact, analyzing a work to evaluate its contents, to discover hidden qualities and explain the reasons as to why it is to be appreciated. Why you need to appreciate that particular point, that particular angle, that particular word, that particular phrase, the style of the poem, the meaning of the poem, the subject of the poem, the title of the poem. So many points can be appreciated unless until you find beauty in that, you find something creative in that, you find something novel in that, that it is not going to help you to appreciate. You have to find that particular beauty in that particular area. One more meaning we have here. So there is more than one way to approach. I have already told you that there is not a single way of appreciating a poem. There is more than one way. But generally it is good idea to determine the meaning. Now meaning means summary plus relevant facts of the poem as well as its context, contextual meaning, the actual meaning, as to also identify the language elements and the stylistic ways that have been artistically employed in the poem. So different styles, different artistic elements that have been employed in the poem should be appreciated, and this is certainly going to help. Let us see one more meaning. A critical appreciation helps in a better understanding of the verse. Verse is the poetic line. Any poetic verse, any poetic line is called as a verse. So a critical appreciation helps in a better understanding of the words. Sometimes the meaning is not properly understood. It does not mean criticizing the poem. So writing something off track, something bad about the poem doesn't mean criticizing. So always appreciation means, in a broader sense, means to explore the treasure of merits in the poem. Writing only the positive elements besides providing a brief summary in the line with thematic components and description of ideas and literary techniques imparted in the poem in the course of conveying ideas. So there are so many other ideas presented in the poem. What needs to be located is the thematic components, the ideas, and the literary techniques used by the poet, and the different elements revolving around the poem needs to be appreciated. Let us locate the important elements or the areas of appreciation. Now let us one by one look at it. First of all, critical reading of the poem is very important. How you actually read the poem. So reading is certainly going to help you to appreciate. An understanding of the poem will help you to prepare the brief summary of the poem. And deriving its messages or the objectives of writing the poem can be clarified. There can be different purposes behind writing the poem. So these purposes can be explored well. Imagining influences of the poet while writing the poem. So what has certainly influenced the poet while he has written the poem? Knowing something about the poet, the background, his life, about his age in which he has written the poem. Then the poet's inclination towards the literary movement of his age, what exactly was happening when he wrote this particular poem. Thinking of different contexts in which the poem has been written. The thematic aspects can be well judged. Understanding the meaning of different words, phrases. Let us turn to the poetic devices. These are all the poetic devices. Rhyme scheme, the speaker, the figures of speech, the character in the poem. Then we can also refer to the different works of the poet. So references of the different works done by the poet. Collection of poetries, different articles, different books written by the poet. And the style of language, and the general style of the poet, if it is actually mentioned in the description of the poem. The genre, the poetic style in which he has presented. The tone of the speaker and many other elements which make up the edifice the facial value of the critical reading or appreciation. The message, for example, every poem has not necessarily has a message. So this message may be there, may not be there, but what can be there is the takeaway or the instruction or the suggestion or the moral which we actually learn after understanding the whole poem. So these are some of the important points which I will repeat again. So critical reading of the poem, all this summary, objectives, purposes, influences about the poem, knowing the poet, his life, his age, then the inclination, different context, thematic aspects, meaning of different words, the rhyme scheme, the speaker, figures of speech, other references, style of language, writing style, the genre, the tone of the speaker in the poem. A message can be there, may not be there, and what exactly do we understand by the poem in a short, that is the takeaway, instruction, suggestion, or the moral. After this, we are going to see three examples of appreciation from three different poems. The Inchcape Rock, Have You Earned Your Tomorrow, and the third poem is The Money. So let us continue with watching the examples of appreciation.
Talk about an appreciation, we should think about these points. The poem should be appreciated with the help of these points so that we can discuss all the aspects of a poem. Poetry is the creation of the poet's imagination. So it may be written to evoke emotions, to inform something, to define something, or to represent or symbolize something regarding the world, regarding the life, and one more purpose of the poetry is to entertain. So let's begin with the appreciation of the Inchcape Rock. And appreciation question is very important for the board examination as it is asked for 4 marks, and so we have to consider different points. Let's discuss the title first. The poem The Inchcape Rock is very meaningful because the title is just suitable and apt. The entire story of this ballad moves around the Inchcape Rock, and so there couldn't have been a better title apart from the Inchcape Rock. So I feel the title is very much suitable to the poem, and it is taken because it is based on the legendary rock or a reef 18 kilometers off the east coast of Scotland. The rock is the center of all events, and that is why all the important events are happening around the rock. The rock had caused a lot of shipwrecks previously. Then the priest abbot had tied a bell on the rock to warn the passing ships about the danger of the rock. And later, the villain Ralph cut the bell from the rock to help his own cause to rob the ships or the sailors from the danger of the rock. And in the end, the villain gets punished when his own ship hits the Inchcape Rock and he dies. So the entire story has been revolving around that Inchcape Rock. So the title is very much suitable. That is what I feel. Here in the picture you can see that there is an Inchcape Rock and the bell has been tied over there, so that is an alarming sign for the sailors. They can see that the bell is ringing and there is some danger, and so that we should change the direction. Our next point of appreciation is about the poem. Here we have to talk a little bit about the poem, that what type of poem it is. First of all, let's figure out what is the type of this poem. There may be different types like sonnet, ballad, lyrical, reflective, monologue, elegy, narrative, and descriptive. So we have to identify the type of the poem. So we can say that this is a ballad type of a poem, as it tells us a story of a 14th century. It deals with the tying of the bell by abbot along with the cutting of the bell. So it has a nice story which has been narrated in a form of a ballad. The poem tells us a story of two different or two contradictory characters. Abbot, the first character, important character, who is a pious person who tries his level best to save the sailors and their ship by tying the bell at the Inchcape Rock. And this is how it helps the sailors to get the alarming sign or a warning sign. When the sailor comes to know that there is a danger, there may be an Inchcape Rock, and then they change the direction of the ship, and this is how they can save the accident of the ship and the ship doesn't crash, and then those sailors bless the abbot. And at the same time, the Ralph, the wicked person, the evil person, the villain of the story, he actually cuts the rope of the bell with the intention of the robbing the sailors. But the day comes when his own ship gets crashed against the Inchcape Rock and he loses all his wealth which he has acquired by robbing the sailors. At the time of death, means when he is drowning into the ocean, he hears the death bell ringing, and then he regrets for cutting the bell, but now it's too late for him to compensate the loss. And so through this poem, or about this poem, we come to know that the criminal gets justice as he is duly punished by the god for his deeds. These are some of the symbolic pictures of what must have happened to the Ralph, the villain of the story, who actually robbed many sailors, and now his own ship has been hit against the same Inchcape rock, and now when he is drowning into the ocean, when he is at the verge of death, he remembers how he cheated people. Let's talk about the poet. The poet Robert Southey was born in England. He was a student of Westminster School. Southey was a gifted romantic writer. He loved to write exotic verses in the romantic tradition. He was a literary scholar, essay writer, historian, and a biographer. He was highly inspired by the legendary story of a pirate who removed the bell on the Inchcape rock, and that is why he wrote a poem in the form of a ballad. The poet is also a renowned scholar of Portuguese and Spanish literature, and he also wrote on many political issues. The poet was a poet laureate of England from 1813 to 1843. Some of his short poems, like The Scholar, are very popular among the school children. He also wrote on various political issues, and those articles were published and appreciated by various people. When you write about the poet, you don't need to write an essay or a long paragraph about the writer. You are expected to write just few points, means maybe 3 to 4 sentences are enough. His work, his style of writing, and some of the other literature that he has written should be mentioned. Let us talk about the theme, which is the main aspect of any poem. The first theme which has been highlighted in this poem is as you sow, so shall you reap. So this is the basic theme through which we come to know who do bad things will ultimately be punished, and that is going to be a kind of a poetic justice. Things will happen to you, good or bad, according to your own behavior. So you should stop being cruel to the people. Through this theme, we come to know that our life is the result of our own behavior. And there's one more appropriate theme that has been highlighted through this poem, is that the crime gets its own punishment. If you commit a crime, you will be punished by the destiny. So you should stay away from all bad things, thinking negative about the other people, because there is someone who is watching your behavior, and destiny will punish you some or the other day. So you should be cautious always about your behavior. The poem also depicts that people who do good to others, they receive the same kind of treatment from the others, and people who are bad, they are going to face similar kind of situation or circumstances in their lives. So ultimately, man is responsible for the effect of his own actions. And this is what we come to know. If you dig a pit for others, you might fall into it yourself. So there is a high possibility that you might think bad for others, but you will have to face the same kind of a situation in your life. So you should remember that if the action is based on the goodness, it will churn out only goodness. And if the action is based on the evil, it is going to give you a bad thing, bad result in the long run. So one should be cautious about his or her behavior, and that is going to give you a proper treatment, or this is how your life is going to change in future. One more thing that we come to know through this poem is justice. Your life is properly planned by the God, by the destiny, and whenever somebody commits a crime, he should understand that there is such thing called justice in the world. So when that crime or when that criminal gets punished, the justice is given. So we must believe in the destiny, we must believe in God, we must believe in justice. So there are multiple themes which are mentioned through this poem, and all the themes are very wonderful, very helpful. It gives us a positivity and energy to live our life with a brightest vision. Our next point of poetic appreciation is poetic style. In poetic style, we should see if the poem is written in free verse, blank verse, or it has a rhyme scheme, or is it a pair scheme, pair rhyming scheme, or a cross rhyming scheme. So talking about the poetic style of the Inchcape Rock, we can say that the poem is of 68 lines divided into 17 stanzas of 4 lines each, and it follows the rhyme scheme of AABB throughout the poem. So this does have a specific rhyming scheme which is mentioned here. So that is to be written in the examination, and the poem is written in a ballad style, in a ballad form, which actually fulfills all the characteristics of a story. The poem is a big one with the 17 stanzas, so it has been narrating a story very beautifully. We have already discussed about the story and the poem, but you can write little bit about the story, how we come to know about the pirate who cuts the bell which is placed on the Inchcape Rock, and how it is hazardous for the sailors, for the mariners, and how people curse him. So this is how we come to know about the two different characters, a story of two different characters. Apart from this, we have to speak about the next point, that is the language and the poetic devices. The language of the poem and the poetic devices, that is the figures of speech which are used by the poet. So talking about the language of this poem, we can say that the words and poetic devices used in this poem enhance the imagination power of the reader. Some of the use of the archaic words, the old English words used by the poet like methinks and quoth, gives a 14th century feel. So we feel that yes, the poet has used that kind of a language, so it gives us that feeling of a 14th century. The poem has a narrative tone that tells us a story. The poet has used the narrative techniques to enlarge the effect of a poem. It creates a wonderful image of the calm atmosphere of the sea, and then the story moves slowly from one incident to the another, and it gives us a vivid picture into the reader's mind. We also find extensive use of alliteration, inversion, imagery, and personification in this poem. Some of the examples of visual imagery and sound imagery are mentioned here in the slide. So these two examples of visual imagery are wonderful. It makes us visualize that thing. The poem has adventure, heroism, jealousy, and a moral. So the moral of the poem goes like this, that he who digs a pit for others falls into it. So this is how the ballad teaches us a story or a moral lesson, and it makes us believe in the humanity and justice and God as well. The poem basically depicts a beautiful picture of those two contradictory characters, and it teaches us how should be our behavior in the society. And so ultimately we start believing in the proverb or age-old saying that teaches us, as you sow, so shall you reap. Last point of the poetic appreciation is your opinion about the poem, wherein your personal opinion matters a lot. So we should always give our personal opinion. It's not necessary that we should write a big essay format, but we can give our opinion in 2-3 points. Like the poem makes us believe in the justice, and also some of the proverbs are mentioned through this poem, and it is in a form of a ballad, so it is a kind of a story, so it is very captivating, and it has different elements like heroism, jealousy. It teaches us a moral. So all in all, the poem is very beautiful. It tells us a story, plus it tells us a message, moral message as well.
So let us begin with this poem. We have taken this poem for an appreciation. Have you earned your tomorrow? I expect that you must have gone through this poem, and before you start writing an appreciation, you need to learn the poem, or you need to understand a poem thoroughly. Then only you can write down all these points very well. We have taken this poem for an appreciation. So just go through this poem. I am not reading loudly this poem for you. You just go through the poem, read it from your textbook. Okay, let us start with an appreciation. First point, about the poem, poet and the title. So, first point is about the poet. Let us talk about the poet. Edgar Guest's poems are often inspirational, and he has an optimistic view of everyday life. That's why he is known as the people's poet, for his simple style and optimistic tone of writing. Little bit about the poem. Have You Earned Your Tomorrow is an inspirational poem in which poet asks direct questions to the readers, whether they have done anything to improve the life of another human being or not. Each stanza proceeds from general to personal. The poet asks the readers about their contribution in the life of others. Let's talk about the title as well. He reminds the readers that time is flying fast and one needs to hurry up to make a positive impact on somebody's life, so that person remembers that positivity and kindness. He hopes that the reader has not done anything rude to anyone. The poem concludes with the reminder that God has the final power to decide whether one deserves to have a tomorrow or not. He advises the readers to assess their contribution in others' life. The title is suitable as the poet wants to make it clear that if you perform good deeds today, you are assured to have better tomorrow. Tomorrow stands for future, and human beings' future depends on their present behavior. Next point is about the poem's theme or the central idea. The poem has a theme of cautioning the readers about the impact of good deeds in one's life. The speaker keeps on reminding the reader that every one of us need to do what we can to bring positivity and courage in a person's life who is suffering in the absence of it. If a small gesture can bring smile and hope in others' lives, we should do that in order to please God, who will grant us a gift of tomorrow. Nothing comes free in life. Our tomorrow also has to be earned by us. Next point is about poetic devices, language and style. The poet has used the main figure of speech of interrogation because of all his queries in the form of questions. The questions are direct and easy to understand and does not require any special skill in order to interpret. The rhyme scheme of the 4 stanzas are AABB, CCAA, DDEE and FFAA. The poet uses quatrain stanzas. That means each stanza of 4 lines to present 4 different situations in which a person can show his kindness and living improvement in the life of others. Next point is about values, message and morals. Here we can say that the poem gives us a message of considering the value of others. My behavior towards others will decide how others will remember me, positively or negatively. I need to behave well with others, not because they will appreciate me, but because that is the right thing to do. The poet is trying to say, do your duty and leave the rest to God. Next point, that is your opinion about the poem. I love the theme of the poem since it is meaningful and motivational. It tells us the purpose of our life. As a human being, you need not be selfish and try to be good and kind to others so that you can secure your tomorrow. Earning your tomorrow is a beautiful concept put forth by the poet through this poem. I also learned that from my investment in good deeds is important to please the God. Now the poem that we have taken for appreciation is Money, which is on page number 122. Full poem will be provided to you in the exam for an appreciation. Before that, you need to learn the poem. You must understand the theme, the central idea and the other aspects of the poem so that you can write an appreciation very well. You should mention little bit about the poet and other points. Let us discuss the first point. The first point is about the poet, poem and title. About the poet. William Davies was a Welsh poet and a writer. He published his first volume, The Soul's Destroyer and other poems. Through this poem, the poet has showcased his self-experienced philosophy about money and personal happiness. All his poems and lyrics have a force and simplicity. Let's talk about the poem. The poem talks about the rich man who wants to be a poor man to find the real happiness. It is when we don't have money we realize its importance. It is a reflective poem that deals with the poet's status both as a rich man and as a poor man. The poet has nicely depicted a connection between the money and personal happiness. Let's talk about the title. In this poem, the poet expresses his self-experience and his wisdom that money makes the world go round. When the poet had money, he had a very big circle of friends. Many false friends would come knocking at his door. These friends used to often visit him as they thought that they could benefit from being with a wealthy man. But when he became poor, these so-called friends left him all alone. This made the poet realize that his big circle of friends was actually fake. Money is the root cause of every happening. So, this is a suitable title. Second point is theme or the central idea of the poem. The theme of the poem is the inverse relationship between money and happiness. Since the poet had many false friends during his time of richness and much fewer but real friends when he has become poor. The theme of the poem is the dual aspect of money. A rich man has many false friends and he lacks true happiness, whereas a poor man has few friends who are true and real. Thus, he is enriched with goodness and happiness. Next point is about poetic devices, language and style of the poem. The poem consists of 5 stanzas of 4 lines each. It has a simple narrative style. Alliteration, antithesis, inversion, simile, onomatopoeia, and repetition are the figures of speech used in this poem. The poet has made use of vivid imagery, for example, wives hum like bees, or came knocking all day at my door, and then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. These lines effectively present the visuals. The rhyme scheme of the first 4 stanzas is ABCB, and of the last stanza is ABAB. Next point is about the value or message that we learn from the poem. The message of the poem is that to experience true joy and happiness, one need not be rich and wealthy. It is not necessary for the poor to become rich as necessary it is for the rich to become poor. One can actually enjoy true happiness when one becomes poor. Your opinion about the poem? I like this poem because it reveals the real worth of money. It also clarifies the false and fake beliefs about the rich and the poor. Understanding the real worth of people, true happiness and value of money in an early age is actually a blessing. This poem certainly teaches a valuable life lessons to all. So this is my personal opinion. Everyone's opinion can be different. So you have to write your own opinion.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.